I'm gonna be doing a step-by-step reproduction of the beat behind Digi Digi. In the process, I'll also be sharing some tips and tricks of music production. I also have a music production course, so if you're interested in learning how to produce, you can reach me on the number that is just there on your screen. Well, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and also leave a thumbs up if you learned from this tutorial. So guys, without further ado, let's kick off right after this. Alright, so now you will set your tempo to 103. So this is the tempo of the song. The song is in the key of F, and the chord progression for the song is 6 and 5. The 6 is a D minor chord, and the 5 is a C chord in the key of F. So I'm going to start off, first of all, I will lay down the drum patterns and the guitar parts and the bass parts using this session. So after I am done with the instrumentations, I will now switch to this other session. These other arrangement views where we will arrange the beat. So the first thing I'll start off with is the drums. So for the drums, I will of course find a drum rack. So to find a drum rack, you will of course head over to where instruments is here, and then drum rack. You can either drag or double click. It will do the same. So here I have a drum rack which is empty, so I have to feed samples of kicks and snares and hi-hats and the percussions, whatever samples I want to work with for the drum parts. So now I'm going to find kicks. So I will of course go to where I have my samples. So probably don't have the same kicks that I have, but you can use any kick that has kind of the same characteristics as those that I'm using. Okay, so now I will work with this kick. Next I will find snares. So after listening to the song, the snare I had, he's using a kind of a trap snare. Okay, I have a snare here, and then I will layer that with an acoustic snare. So my acoustic snares will be on. Let me find a good acoustic snare here. Okay, I'll work with this snare here, and then I will find shakers. Okay, now this will be a perfect shaker, and then also a hi-hat. Okay, now I will work with this hi-hat, and then I will find some bongos, percussion, bongo. Okay, I'm gonna work with this bongo and this bongo here. So now I have my samples fed into the rack. So now I can start drawing in the drum patterns. So to do that, I will of course, okay, now the song has 4 drum patterns, variation of drum patterns. So the intro has like its own drum pattern, and then when the verses come in, they have a different drum pattern, and then these variations on the different. So I will first of all start with, okay, now to draw in the pattern for the first drums, the intro drums, I will first double click on the first row here of this where your rack is, and it will open up this section here where you can start drawing in your patterns. So in this I will extend the length of this area here. So this is only 1 bar, and I need 4 bars. So to extend, I will change the length here from 1 to 4. And then now make sure that your grid is 1/16th, and then you can now start drawing in your snares. So I'm going to start off with the snare, so you can also enable your metronome so that it guides you when you drawing. So you can also change this pointer to a pen tool by hitting B on your keyboard. Okay, now okay, you can start by drawing this pattern here, highlight, or rather, okay, change the pointer to back to you, highlight, duplicate. So I've highlighted the one bar and then I've duplicated. And then I will layer this pattern with the snare, this other snare here. Okay, to do that, first of all, I will highlight all those snares by, of course, if you see this black key over here, if you click on it, it will highlight all those samples. Hold on Control, drag up, and then now I will add shakers. Okay, now I will vary the velocities of the different shakers. Undo. Just click on every shaker and then you can vary the velocity. And the reason you vary the velocity is because you want it not to sound very, you know, mechanical or robotic, and kind of have it have a human feel. Okay, now I think, okay, now I will just work with this one. So highlight, then duplicate. Okay, now so this will be the first drum pattern for the intro. So I can if I select this row and hold Control, I will copy the other pattern on the same pattern on the row just under this you know, first row, the second row. So this part here I will add kicks. So now this will be my intro. After the intro, the verse. Now this will be the verse, the first verse drum pattern. So I'll add kicks. So those are my kicks. Highlight that bar and then duplicate. So now that's my second drum pattern or variation of the drum. So I also need another variation now with hi-hats. So I will select this the drum pattern that I've just created. Control, select, drag down. So now I will add hi-hats. So for these hi-hats, okay, can switch the pointer to a pen tool, and then you can draw in the same, you're drawing in the same pattern as the shaker, but I'm not going to use the shaker since I've you know, messed with the velocities, and I need to maintain the velocity, the you know, default velocity with the hi-hats here. Duplicate. Okay, now I will go back to my rack here, and then process the hi-hats a bit. So just solo. So I'm gonna just randomize the panning by increasing this random and pan to around maybe 50. So if you do that, you will have that, you know, panning effect. Okay, now go back here. Now I will do the same with this. I will now add some percussions. So I'm gonna select this pattern, hold control, drag down, and then I will add the, you know, the percussion beat. So the percussion, this is where I'm going to have my percussion. Okay, so I'm going to slightly, you know, mix the drums, so we'll try and level up, you know. So some of these samples are a bit loud, too loud. Okay, I'm now going to drop a drum bass, just so that I can, you know, have punch on the drums. So I'll find a drum bass here, drag to the rack. So I'm going to just slightly increase the drive and the transients. Maybe some little compression. So if you add the compression, you can also adjust the dry wet. Shakers are a bit too loud. this is enough for now. If there's any other touches we'll do it when we are mixing the song. So for the guitars I will use Nexus. So I'll just find my plugins, and then you know, I'll be working with the Nexus. So you just drag your Nexus, drag it to the session. This part here, and then now on the categories I will find XP guitars. So XP guitars here, and then I will be using a clean GT clean mute 1. So find that guitar, it should be somewhere here, muted clean 1. So that's this the guitar. Okay, so I'm gonna now add the just on the Nexus channel, you select the fourth row. Okay, I'm selecting the fourth row because I want it to play along the third variation of the drum pattern. So you double click, and then it will open up piano roll. So also increase the length of this piano roll to 4, and then now I will use this you know, part to draw in the guitar notes, the MIDI notes. So I'm going to be using this octave C3 to C4, and let me add in the notes. So the first note is F. Of course, I listen to the song and I know this is the first note that begins F, and then followed by a D note. So if you play, and then E, B. Okay, so this the part, and it will be playing the same on all bars. So I'm going to select this whole bar here. So you select from where the 2 is, the bar ends, and then duplicate by holding Control D. So that's the guitar part. So this part is pan to the right, so you gotta pan it hard right, or you can just pan it maybe not as hard as 100% hard, but it's panned, and I think he panned it 100%. So let's just work with the 100%. I also feel like the volume is a bit high, so I'm gonna reduce it a bit. Okay, so now this is one part of the guitar. The other part of the guitar is panned to the left, and it's responding to this guitar. So this is kind of a question, then there's an answer. So I will select the Nexus channel, and then duplicate it by you know, holding Control and D on the keyboard, and then I will you know, double click on the second Nexus. So this is the response one. So I will delete these notes and add the notes of the other part. So also the other part of the guitar, I will change it to muted clean 2. So muted clean 2 sounds like so. So this part is panned to the right, so you can just pan it to the right, and then of course you know, can now draw in the notes. So here I know I'll find note A, and I'll be playing the last quarter bar of every bar. here, okay, I will select it and take it an octave down. So to do that, of course, select all those MIDI notes, shift down, not control, shift down. Okay, now select all those parts and then duplicate. Okay, now so let me play. So you can also reduce the volume more. So that's you know, the guitar. Next sound I will use a brass sound. So the sound that I'm going to use, I will also get it from Nexus. So with Nexus, I know that I want a brass from a big orchestra category. So find big orchestra category here, and then I'll work with this brass here. So this brass is called Abascal. That's how it sounds. So I will still work with the 4th row here. You can use any row, but I prefer to work with this row here. Okay, now make sure you deactivate this part over here if you don't want everything to play together. Okay, so I have my my piano roll here. For this brass, I will use the 4th octave. Also make sure that you increase the length to 4 bars. This instrument will be playing chords, and the chords that I'm playing are called D minor and C major chords, and these chords are called 6 and 5 of the key of F. So now let me add in the chord. So I'll start off with the D minor chord. So the first note, of course, is a D, and then F, and the other note is A. Okay, that's the first, of course, this is the D chord, and then followed by a C. So for the C, of course, you'll start from here. E and G note. Those are the chords. Select the bar, Control D to duplicate. Okay, here now. Okay, of course, the sample is first of all, it's a bit loud, so you can reduce the volume, slightly reduce the volume. And then I will also add an EQ to cut off the high of this sample. So I'm going to use an EQ 8.
I will of course do a high pass and cut off maybe frequencies under 40, and then also I'll do a low pass filter. So first of all activate, and then maybe I will maybe boost some of the mids here.
There's another guitar that is more like a counter melody, and it uses the same sound as the right band guitar. So what I'll do first of all, I will just name these channels. So this I will rename it. This is my right guitar, right band guitar. You can also do the same. Rename left band first guitar. So I'll duplicate this right band guitar. Well, for this guitar I don't want it to be panned, so it will be a mono guitar, and then I will of course change the notes. So I will do away with these notes and add fresh notes. So this I'll use the second bar 2 and bar 4 for these to add the notes. So working with the 4th octave, so note D, then note F, followed by note E, and the other note is 2 notes of D and E. So let's have a listen. So that's the counter melody. I'm going to select, from these 2 bars here, and then select duplicate. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. Now I'm going to add the bass. So for the bass, we'll be using an 808. So when I'm working with the 808s, the first thing I would do is I work with a sampler. So I'll find a sampler. The sampler, you'll find a sampler in instruments, then sampler. So drag a sampler. So this is an empty sampler. I'll have to feed an 808. So the 808 that I'm going for, I will find an 808 on my samples. So now I have an 808 here that I want to use. So classic, and then see if I can find an 808 here. So I like this 808. I like the fact that it has an attack.
after you have your 808, you have to tune your 808 so that it is in tune with the key of the song. To do that, I will use a spectrum to tune it, and also I'll use a tuner. So I'll find my spectrum in the audio effects here, the spectrum, and then I'll also add a tuner there so that it shows me when the sample is in tune. So the first thing I do, of course on my MIDI keyboard I will play note C. So I need to know, well, looking at the spectrum here, I want to know the peak of this sample, where it hits here. So it's D sharp. So I can see it's D sharp. So what I'll do, come here at the sampler itself. So sampler, so it's the note is C sharp. Is it C sharp? D. So D, change here to D. So now I will fine tune it so that it's exactly okay. You can see it's D, but it's out of tune. So I need to tune it so that it's now playing, you know, the C that I'm playing on my MIDI keyboard. So to do that, I will of course come at this tab here on the sampler, and then start increasing the detune, this detune part here. So I'll add some octaves. So now I'm looking at the tuner here so that I know when it's, you know, when it's on the green light here, highlights the green light, then you have tuned it. Just increase the octaves. Okay, it's we about, so plus 40 these are semitones or octaves. Okay, mid semitones. So now it's you know, tuned. So I can now draw in the bass notes. So of course, to do that, I will you know, come to where my bass channel is. So you can rename it. So this is bass 808. Then double click, open the roll, the piano roll. I'll be working on the third octave, so between the third and the fourth octave here, and I can now start drawing in the bass note. So the first note, I know it's on D, so I'll make sure also that the length of the bars are 4 bars. Okay, 4 bars here, and then the grid is 1 over, you can work with 1 over 16. So now with my grid there, I will start drawing in the 808s. The other note is A sharp. So find A sharp here. So let's play it somewhere here. And then E. the A sharp plays again. Here. Okay, yeah, so now those are the notes on the first bar. So you can select the full bar here and duplicate it, Control D to duplicate 4 times to fill in the full bars. So again, this is now how it sounds. Okay, just play it. So now I'm gonna go back to the sampler and now start fine-tuning the sample. So I'm going to the filter envelope. I will slightly increase the attack. Also the release, increase it a bit so that it rings out even after you let go the note. So attack again, increase a bit. So I am kind of trying to shadow the attack. So if when it's default, there's that attack, you hear that. So I am kind of trying to hide it when I increase the attack. And of course, maybe I'll increase the volume a bit, and then I will add an amp, so just to make the 808 sound a little bit fuller. So just reduce the dry wet and also reduce the volume of the amp. Maybe also reduce the volume on the envelope here. Okay, so if you play all together, this is how it should sound. So of course you can go on and just work on the 808 until it sounds perfect. So for the purpose of making this video not very long, I will just leave it as is, and then we can maybe look at another instrument. So now I'm going to do the arrangement of the transition sound. So the sound that I'm going to recreate here is the sound that comes just before the verses. So it's kind of a transition. So it's a guitar sound, but it's a distorted guitar. So I will find that guitar on my Nexus. So the sound I'm going for is on the categories is club sound. So I'm gonna find that category. So it's club sounds volume 1, and then I am going for so wide lead. So double click on it, of course, to load the sound, and then I will now of course write it on the Nexus channel here. So I'm gonna double click on this the fourth channel. So in this case, I am just going to use 1 bar. So I will just leave it as is, you know, the default, piano roll. So I'm going to go down to the second octave here, and then I'm going to write down, or add. So the first sound is a D note, and then followed by an E, and then F, back to E, and then the sound of will follow will be an A, and then finally a D. So it will, the D will be, of course, an octave. Yeah. So let's hear how that sounds. So that's the sound. And this will be now on the transition. So I'm going to add an EQ, because I feel that there's I need to kind of cut on the highs and maybe the lows. So for the EQ, I will just use a normal EQ8 that comes with this DAW, and then I will first do a high pass. I'll cut maybe from around maybe 90. And then also I'll do a low pass. So when I say low pass, I mean that I'm cutting the high frequencies. Activate it first of all here. Also on this, you can also select the 8 and then add some razor. So that's now the transition sound. So now I'm going to make the last sound before I look into the fills and we arrange the track as I finish on the tutorial. So this sound I'm going to remake is a trombone, kind of a wind instrument. So for that sound I'm going to use expand as the plugin that I will find the sound from. So on so if you have trombone, of course you'll go to the winds or brass and plus wind, and then find the trombone plus sound. So it's it's somewhere here. Let me find it. So that this sound here. So that's the sound. So I will of course double click on one of these rows. So I'm going to just choose to double click it on, or to place the sounds on the 4th row. So once you open the piano roll, you will I will be using the 3rd octave and the 4th octave. So for the first sound, or the note, or rather the notes, I will add in note D. Here's D, and then the other note will be F. And then I will also add more sounds or notes. So in this, then the following note will be on this fourth octave, C. So let me just find C here. So this is C. And D. So D, where's D? Here's D. And then also I'm gonna still use the D and the D here and E, not F, sorry. And then finally we'll add this note over here, which will be A. So let's just have a listen. So that's now this sound. So I'm going to play it solo. So that's the sound. Right now I'm going to make transitions. So the transitions that I'm going to use, or that I will use, will be timbale. So we'll just make a simple timbale roll, which we're gonna use on the transitions. So to do that, I normally use drum rack. So I'll start off with the drum rack. Then on the drum rack, I will feed some samples of timbale rolls. Okay, I know I have some rolls on the drum samples. So I'm gonna choose a roll from here. Okay, let me just work with this one. So the first thing I'll do, I will of course feed it here on my and then also I'll find another one shot timbale. So for one shots, I know I have there's a good one shot timbales here, not trampoline but timbales. So let me just work with these two. Well, you just get an idea of how it works. So with my roll here, of course I will find on the drum rack that I've just made, click on one of the rows and hear the timbales. Okay, so I'll have to go back to the rack, and I need to cut this one. So, and I want only this part here. Don't want to use the whole sample. So I use the simpler, this is the sampler or simpler, to cut out only the parts that I want. Okay, now that's enough. So I'm gonna head back to this section over here. play it. So I might adjust if I need maybe other to extend the roll. So just adjust to what you feel would be good enough for your taste. So I'm just gonna work with this one. Also, I will add some effects. So for the effects, I am going to drop. I'm going to affect it with I'll try a compressor. So the compressor that I'm gonna use is okay, let me find a good compressor, glue compressor. So adding it to the whole rack. So I'm going to add also I'm going to add you can add also saturators and redux. So on top of the rack, just to add to distort it a bit. And maybe redux. Let me add redux before compression. Just a bit of it. Okay, now that's enough. So now I now have my roll. So you can also adjust the volume if you feel that it's too much. So now with this, we can now start arranging the song. Okay, now now that we have already made all the different instruments that will be in the track, I will now jump to this other view, which is the arrangement view. So this is where I'm going to arrange the whole instruments and now come up with the full track. So the first thing I'll do, maybe you will of course add markers to highlight on where the verses, the intro will be, and all those sections of the song. So we'll start by highlighting where the intro is. So to do that, you just place your mouse pointer just where my my pointer is. If you right click, it will show you some options where you can add a locator. So I know that the intro is 4 bars, So the very first locator is where I indicated it as an intro. Then if I add 4 to the intro, which is 1, of course that makes it 5. So my intro will end at 5. So here I will add a verse. This will be my verse 1. I know that the verses are 12 bars, so I'll add 12 to 5. That will be 17. So this is where the chorus will come in. So just do chorus 1, and then the chorus is I guess it's also 12 bars, so I'll add 12 to 17. That will be 29. Hope my maths is good. So verse 2, and then I'll verse 2. So that verse 2 is also 12 bars, so add 12 bars to 29. So I think that would be now 41. So that's chorus 2, or just chorus, however you want to name it. And then after that there's chorus 2 is 12 bars. Verse 2 actually is 8 bars, not 12 bars. Verse 2 is 8 bars. So I'll need to adjust here to 8 bars. So if I add 8 bars to 29, of course it will be 37. So you just adjust accordingly. Then the chorus is 12 bars. So 12, add 12 to 37. So that will be 49. So here's where my chorus will be ending, and now you have an idea of what we're doing. So now we can record those instruments to this session, to this arrangement view, and arrange the song. Okay, now on arranging, we're going to bring these clips that you've made on this session area and on this other side, which is the called arrangement view. So so firstly, I know that these are my drums. So this I know will be my intro drums. So I will just quickly rename. So to rename, just click. I mean, you can right click and then find the rename option, and you know, can go ahead and maybe call it intro part, and then still you can use Control R. So intro, these are the parts will be my, I will call it just variation 1, and variation 2, maybe variation 3. So Control R, variation 3. So I know this will be my drums. And the guitars, you know, we have the brass part here, which was this is the yeah, okay, brass. So you can just name it brass, or just if Nexus will make you remember better, you know, leave it as so. So now I want to copy these parts to this arrangement, the other side. So well, I'll be switching back and forth from this side to this side. So I'm using my tab on the keyboard. So you can either use the tab you know, key on your keyboard, or you can, with your pointer finger, you can just click this to you know, this icon. Let me just call it an icon to switch back and forth, but tab will of course be easier. So I'm gonna you know, select the intro part, hold with my, you know, I'm holding it with my mouse. I've hit tab, and then I will come here. I know this part will be on my drums part. So here, drum rack. intro part, drop it there, then switch back with the tab, do the same to variation 1, tab, come and copy, and then variation 2, tab, copy, and variation 3, copy there. So you know, this is how the drums will start. It will start without, you know, the kicks and the hi-hats, and then will as the song progresses to the end of the verse 1, it will be full, the drums will be full. So you can you know, listen by either playing by either clicking the play button here, or using your tab, your space bar, sorry. Okay, now I'm going to also bring this other part. So I had my right band guitar, and also this left band guitar. So I switch to this view here, right band, tab, place it there, and then left band guitar, select, hold, tab, place it there, and then there's the counter melody. So the counter melody, I'm not going to use the counter melody right now, but it will be on the first verse. So you can, okay, let's just bring it here. So counter melody here. So this is the you know, track that we had named, we copied from the right band. So maybe you didn't rename it, counter melody. So do the same, hold, click, hold, tab, place it on the verse, the first you know, bar of the verse, and then I'm gonna switch back to bring the brass. So the same, click, hold, come and place it where this nexus is. I will find now the 808s. So the 808s don't play on the you know, the verse area, I mean the intro. So I will of course just copy it to the verse area. Make sure you know, placing those clips on the right tracks. So the transition, so this was my guitar transition, do the same, come, so it was only one bar, so I'm going to place it just the bar just before the transition between the intro and the verse. Then switch back. Now we have, okay, these are the rolls. So the rolls, of course, I will adjust them. So well, so now these are the, okay, there's also, okay, all right, yeah, we're good. So if you play, let me minimize a bit, you can delete these MIDI parts just to create some space. So I want to view the whole so you can also drag down these parts or hide it. So now, yeah, these are the instruments now that you're going to be arranging. So I will just arrange maybe the parts for intro, verse 1, maybe in verse 2, and then I will leave the rest to you to continue. So well, with my instruments here, if I now you know, play from the first so I mean, I have to, I'll adjust these parts of the brass. I feel that they're not right. So okay, now, so let me just solo. I feel that they should be playing 1/32. So I'm just going to Control A to select all, change the grid to 1/32, and then you know, reduce the length. Okay, I think we're going somewhere. Now what I'll do, I'm going to delete these parts, and then I will adjust the velocities. So I'm going to bring down the velocity of the first of this note here, which is note G. So I'm going to bring it down. I'm also going to bring this velocity down. Okay, I kind of like now how it sounds better. So also the reduce a bit, just a bit. Okay, now I think it sounds way better. Okay, you can also mess around with these two. Okay, that's better sounding. So I'm gonna select the full bar here and duplicate 4 times to fill in the 4 bars. So unsolo, hide these parts, and then now let's listen. Okay, I guess it sounds better. So now the intro is already full. So the intro was this part of the drums, and then the right panned guitars, the left panned guitars, this brass area, and this the transition guitar. So here I will add a roll, this roll here. Also adjust the drum roll. So I even will adjust it more here. So we reduce it from 1 bar to half a bar, and bring it down. Solo. Add the volume. Okay, let's just work with the it so. Okay, now that will be the roll. So unsolo. Okay, now this guitars also will be on your verse area, so just select the guitar part, Control D to duplicate, and also the same with the right or the left pan guitar, Control D to duplicate. This counter melody, the counter melody is only going to play here and maybe the last the last bar before you start playing, or before you transit to the chorus. So I'm not going to be very particular on the arrangements. You just go and listen to the song and then arrange as what you will hear, and then arrange accordingly. So this is so I'm going to add the rolls maybe after every bar. Okay, for the chorus, I will use the variation 2 as drums. So I'm going to just select Control to copy that part, duplicate once. This variation 3, bring it here because of the roll, of course, and duplicate these guitar parts. Also, this part is pretty all over the song, so I'm going to Control, duplicate, it's all over, and also these parts. Like I said, I'm not going to be very keen with where every beat is playing. I will leave that to you to go and listen to the song and arrange. So I'm just giving you an idea of how you will go about it. Okay, now I think I'm pretty okay. So this now will be you know, the first half of the song, so you can maybe have a listen and yeah. That's it for this tutorial. Okay, I hope I was clear enough. If I wasn't, let me know in the comment area. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you have a song that you'd want me to do a deconstruction of, you can let me know in the comment area. So let's see each other on the next one. Ciao.